Here we have a used 2019 Lexus RX350L. This one comes in eminent white pearl on parchment perforated leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and that gets us 290 horsepower, 263 pound-feet of torque. So as we come around to the front end here, we do get LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights. And just a little bit of wear. This one has a little over 91,000 miles, so front end there we have some rock chips, and then looks like we might have hit something down underneath here. But for the most part, still a really nice look, and the paint is held up pretty nicely. But coming around the wheels here, these are 20s, and as you can see, they have a little curb rash there. I should say quite a bit of curb rash. Passive keyless entry on the front doors. We have our memory seat controls here. We get one-touch automatic up and down windows for all four doors, and then power door lock controls here, rear window lock here, power mirror controls here. You can pick a side and adjust, and you can turn that off. Then you have an auto mode for your folding mirrors, and you can turn that off as well. And you can power fold them, and then you have blind spot monitors in the mirrors themselves. Pretty good size storage pocket here in the door, bottle holder here. Then we have our auto high beams, toggle there, rear lift gate, and then our heated steering wheel toggle. And then we can go through our brightness for the gauge cluster and then toggle the odometer there. We do get a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. And here's our power driver seat with power lumbar support, excuse me. And then I have this seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'2" with longer legs. So let's take a quick look at this leg room. That's with the seat all the way back. So hopping in here. Okay, leg room, I guess. Can't really get behind. You can see there's not a lot of space there, but we do have seat back pockets on both sides, rear AC vents, a 12-volt. But a lot of the seat's so bulky, not a lot of leg room, but there's really not a lot of leg room here anyway. And here's our grab bar. We can hang about 2 or 3 hangers on this hook here. I like how it's shaped. And again, that's with, I mean, you pretty much have no leg room with the seat all the way back, so you'd have to have 2 smaller kids sitting one behind the other. So not the best. Probably just want to stick with a 2-row RX350. Gas cap there. And as you come around the back in here, fantastic styling on this RX350L though. Love the overall look. Spare tires underneath there. And this does have a power lift gate, so we're going to open that up. And the electronics are a bit finicky in here. I power folded this 3rd row earlier, and even though I folded all the way down, it just started beeping at me, I guess because it was hitting the back of the seat. So that will fold flat into the actual floor, both sides, when the seats are up far enough, which I really like. Again, there that is. And then there are the rear AC controls. So there's a bug there. This is the 2nd time I've done this, and it will not shut up unless it's all the way back. But again, both sides power fold flat when the seats up in the 2nd row are up far enough. Then storage in here, jack and all of that. But this is pretty much the same kind of RAV4, in between the RAV4 and the Highlander for me. So those are known to make a lot of weird noises for no reason. You pull up that bar there, or you can use this when you're in the back seat, and you can slide the seat up to get to the 3rd row. Then just snap it back into place. And then power front passenger seat with power lumbar support. Same adjustability, which I like. Lockable glove compartment, push button. Owner's manuals are here. Really nice size for that glove compartment. And then storage pocket here. But I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood, and we're going to take a quick look in the engine bay. And there's that 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6. Again, 290 horsepower, 263 pound-feet of torque. Now top in the driver's seat. So absolutely love the look of the steering wheel here. We have the wood grain on half and then the brown leather on half. Love the look again, and only issue I have is the only part that's heated are going to be the sides here, but just it's worth it to me. Really premium look. Now going to the radio here, we do have AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. And my goodness, I cannot stand this. Can't say that enough. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. But there are the radio controls here. And this thing just has a mind of its own. We do have a CD player and USB, which is nice. And now let's see if we can go to the, I'll hit the button down here, that's smarter. There's the navigation screen there, and the screen's not blinking. That's just how the camera's picking it up because it's an LED screen. And I'm just gonna try and go through this really quickly. There's the backup camera, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And there's a few other things you can do there, but it's just so, the system is so finicky with this knob down here. I'll show you in a minute. Hazards, clock, AC vents, CD player. I like that we have shortcuts here for media because I hate having to use the dial down below, and the screen is not touch. So power knob is here. You can hold it down to turn it off and then turn it back on, or you can just hit it one time and it mutes the audio. And then this is a tune or scroll knob here. And we do get dual zone automatic climate controls, so you can see that on the screen as well. But I like to use this better. Then your auto mode here. You can turn the fan off or adjust fan speed here. Set the rear. And then set the auto there. And then we have rear defrost, mirror defrost here. And you can go through your fan direction here where you want the air to blow. We do have automatic heated cooled seats as well, or you can use them manually, and you get 3 stages for that. And then we have an automatic brake hold, an electronic parking brake, pull up to engage to the brake, press down to disengage. And then for the 8-speed, just grab the lever, reverse, neutral, drive, slap over here, manually shift. Cup holders here, drive modes, traction control on and off. And then turn to the left for eco, turn to the right for sport, press the button for normal. And this is what I'm talking about. I hate this. This is the only way I can put this. I absolutely hate this. So this is why I could not find what I was trying to do. It is so annoying because it's so finicky. It doesn't make sense in terms of, it doesn't stay consistent for pressure, in my opinion. It's like using a mouse without a mouse pad. That's just how this feels. It's awful. Absolutely awful. So I hate that, but you do have your quick shortcuts for the map, and then you can go to the menu there, enter buttons here. But again, it's better to just use these. And if you do every so often have to get into one of the other options that don't have a button, like the climate, you just have to put up with it. And I hope you aren't driving when you do so, because it's terrible. So again, you can toggle through that in here, but the dual zone automatic climate controls, but it is so awful, absolutely awful. And then see if I can get to the settings. There are the settings there. So when you have XM set up, you can go through the traffic settings, navigation, vehicle settings, all of that. But like I said, it's just, I hate the system. But anyways, center console cubby spaces here. You do have 2 USB ports, and aux input, and a 12 volt. And we do have a one-touch tilt and sliding open and shut power sunroof. And there's a view of the back from up here. I like that the sunroof goes all the way back. Sunglass holder here. Now we'll take a look at the vanity mirrors in this one. Lights above. I like that it's kind of sensitive to when you open the mirror to when the light comes on. Now to the left side of the steering wheel, volume controls, and then this is for the track list or radio station favorite presets. And then you can use your mode button here to go through Alexa, iHeartRadio, whatever you have set up, aux input, Bluetooth, etc. And then voice recognition, Bluetooth controls here. We have our lane keeping assist system, so you can turn on the steering assist if you want to, and then forward collision alert, gap adjust, or for the radar cruise control, gap for that, and then radar cruise control, toggle that on and off there, and then you can hold the button to go into regular cruise, and then in either mode you can set, resume, increase speed there. And then all of this is for the gauge cluster, so back button to go through different sub menus or to get back to the main screen, and then you can go through the sub menus here. Blinkers here, and then in auto mode, what I don't like is you can't get your automatic high beams, it seems like, but when the high beams are on, or when the lights are on all the way, the high beams work, but then when you turn the auto high beams on, then it's just automatic high beams. So again, confusing, but it's okay. Fog light, toggle there, and then to the right side of the steering wheel, this stalk one time, and then you have an auto mode, and you can set the adjustment for that here, and then you have low, high, and then your rear wiper here. Pull up for front wiper fluid, push back for rear wiper fluid. And there's the push button start. Finally, here's the key fob. But next we're gonna go ahead and take this 2019 Lexus RX350L out on the road for a quick test drive. So the RX350L, pretty quick. And I do like how the vehicle handles in general. Kind of reminds me, I guess the closest thing to this in the Toyota segment or lineup is gonna be the Venza, in my opinion, because the RX has always been in between that RAV4 Highlander realm, and specifically this 350L just feels only a tad bit bigger, but in normal mode, plenty of power, and we put it over to sport, it'll just rev hotter. But the 8-speed feels nice, shifting. And pretty nice ride quality coming down the interstate here. We'll put it back in a normal mode. Actually, we'll put it in eco now. So I think this is rated for somewhere around 25, 26 miles per gallon. So it gets about that, maybe a little bit better on the interstate, depending on altitude changes and things of that nature. But superb ride. And the brake pedal feels really nice. When I first got in it, it was really loud, and that's kind of the Toyota Lexus way. The brakes are super loud when you first get in them if they've been sitting or if it's been raining or whatever. And then you slowly start to not notice it as you drive them around a little bit. So taking it out of eco, putting it back into normal. Now when you're coasting, it'll still give you the eco mode, but as I come out of this corner here, put my foot in it a little bit, that eco light will come off. But overall, this drives just like new. That's what Toyota and Lexus are known for. Just super good reliability over the years. Like I said, it's always electrical stuff or stuff that somebody should have caught on to. The leg room in here is, I don't want to say atrocious, but it just doesn't make any sense for me. I'd rather just have the second row. The third row is kind of, especially with these captain's chairs, the second row doesn't really make any sense. And then you don't really have room, if you have the second row back all the way, you don't have room for the third row. And if you have the second row forward all the way, you don't have any room for the second row, but you have just enough for the third row. So it just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like legroom is better in the standard ones for the second row even. But I do like that the third row folds right into the back, but again, the second row has to be up far enough. But from a driver's standpoint, great car. The steering feels nice. The whole vehicle just feels luxurious when I'm in here by myself. And if I hadn't checked the legroom, or if I wasn't so tall, I probably wouldn't have issue with it at all. But again, if this is supposed to be the long version of the RX350, I would expect to have better passenger space. But all in all, for over 90,000 miles on this vehicle, everything except for the front with all the rock chips and then the curb rash, which is all based on the previous owner, it's held up very nicely. And it still feels just as luxurious as it did in 2019. So this will bring me to the end of my review of the 2019 Lexus RX350L.